hear me out on how to finally stop seeking approval and start living life by your own rules. Seeking approval? Yes, you can have your own rules without depending with other approval. Seeking approval and validation from others is a common human trait. At a deep level, we all desire to have our feelings, beliefs, and ideas valued and accepted by those around us. We are wired to connect, and part of the dance of connection is the idea that you see me, I see you, and I accept you, you accept me. This type of connection builds safety, trust, ultimately love. Yes, we all need to be loved. We all want to be accepted. But what happens when the need of approval from others overrides our ability to feel free to live life on our terms? What happens when our need to be seen, heard, or validated becomes more important than being true to who we are? Often, when we seek approval, we do so at the cost of ourselves. Yes, cost of ourselves. We can become so obsessed with being accepted that we forgot what's most important is our own happiness. In the desperate search for acceptance, we rob ourselves of our own joy. It's a path of distraction that leads nowhere. Again, in the desperate search for acceptance, we rob ourselves of our own joy. It's a path of distraction that leads nowhere. Instead of seeking approval externally, we need to learn to accept ourselves, trusting that who we are is enough. Trusting that who we are is enough. We need to cultivate healthy self esteem and love ourselves unconditionally. Our self esteem and our ability to self validate will directly affect our ability to be free in making decisions and trusting in our own abilities, regardless of whether we receive the approval of those around us. This is the start of being able to embrace freedom and live life on our own terms. Live life on your own terms. Living life on your own terms means living life in a way that is meaningful to you. It means doing more of the things you love, spending time with people that make you feel good, and generally up-leveling your experience. It also means separating from those things that do not bring you joy, love, or happiness. The best part? Or you may ask a question, The best part. Let me think about that. No, there's no steps to this. There's no steps to that. There is no online course or 4 steps programmed to freedom from this limiting belief that you need to be accepted in order to be happy. You simply need to decide. Yes, decide yourself. Yep. In order to start living life on your own terms, all you need to do is so decide that your needs, your happiness, your joy are more important than being accepted by others. Yes, a truly strong person does not need the approval of others any more than a lion needs the approval of a sheep. A truly strong person does not need the approval of others any more than a lion needs the approval of sheep. It might seem scary in the beginning to embrace this way of thinking, but honestly, sticking with the alternative is a waste of your life. You will never be accepted by everyone. And those who do not or who do accept, you will likely still hold some sort of judgment against you. Even if they love you? This is not meant to be cynical, but I'm trying to make the point that no matter what you do, people will hold your own opinions of you. Wasting your time trying to affect those opinions is pointless. Pointless. Be happy. Be happy. Be happy. Live your life. Live your life. Be loud. Be loud. Be loud. Be quiet. Be quiet. Go crazy. Oh, I can go crazy on this. Everything can be crazy. Be real. Don't be fake. Hi, I'm real. You see, how are these people are being real? They are showing up the reality of being simple and natural. Naturally by themselves. Do whatever the hell you want. You deserve to be seen and loved by yourself so that you can be free. Life is short to be anything else. Again, life is too short to be anything else. Faith, the key to releasing control and allowing life to go at its own pace. We have all heard the saying, good things take time. Good things take time. Well, true. How many of us are able to adopt this concept in our day-to-day lives? When a baby is born, we don't rush into becoming a toddler. When we plant a rose, we don't complain to the seed while it takes time to grow and strengthen before becoming a plant and eventually blooming. So why do we not adopt the same gentleness with our lives? What is about growing up and becoming adults that makes us forget to allow ourselves the space to grow, learn, and expand? You have to just be. You have to let go. You have to allow. You have to be free and make this your consciousness. As a human beings, We are an extension of the planet that we live on. We are an organism that inhabits this space called planet Earth. The difference between us and the grass we walk upon is simply self awareness. We have a consciousness within us that makes us self aware. We are able to self reflect and make decisions based upon that reflection. We have the power to analyze and dissect our lives and even our own psyche, which of course has many benefits. But what happens when the self analysis causes us to become out of balance? Out of balance. What if the self awareness we have is actually working against us? But put simply, this lack of balance put us out of touch with nature. When we become heavily focused on ourselves and all the things we need to do or achieve, we fall out of balance. Yes, we fall out of balance. With self awareness also comes self doubt, self judgment, self criticism. We may tell ourselves that we are driven and focused, but if this focus is at the cost of our joy, of your joy, then it has to change. So what is the solution? What is the antidote to the pressure that comes with self-awareness? It's simple faith. We all have faith. When we have the faith in God, the universe, or a power that is greater than ourselves, it becomes far easier to allow things to unfold in our lives. With faith comes trust. With faith comes trust. Having faith does not then mean that we do not honor the need to control for in the aspect of our lives where it is serves us. What does mean that is that the pressure that has been created internally for you can release. You can release. You can finally breathe a little deeper into your belly and accept the natural ebb and flow of life. Flow in your belly. You see the sound of my belly? That's the sound of your feeling. The faith comes trust. Learning to expand your life and your experience without pressure is not about putting more pressure on yourself. It's about accepting that perhaps your current standard of living needs to shift and taking responsibility to change it. What could you learn if you finally let go? Ask yourself. With faith comes trust. It's simple. Faith. 5 simple steps to get you back on track. When you've lost your focus, focus. Focus. Yes, focus. When we set a new goal in life, we are usually filled with optimism. Have a crystal clear vision on what we want and are 100% committed to going after it. But often, over time, And with all the distractions present in our day to day life, we can fall off track and lose that focus we started with. There are lots of things that can distract us: social media, family commitments, television, work. The list is endless. As the distractions add up, the feeling of determination and clarity we initially had can slip away. And with it, the dream of achieving what we want. However, it happens. It is extremely common for our focus and determination to deepen now. And then we are now on the journey to achieving something we have never done before. A lot of this has to do with fact that when we set our sights on achieving something, we have knew there is a lack of evidence in our mind that we can achieve it. Your brain, you may say to you that because you have never done this particular thing before, that it is a foolish idea to try. You may even tell yourself that you aren't capable. Self-talk. Talk to yourself. Like this can generate a sense of self-doubt, which ultimately leads to an decrease in focus. It is the ultimate in self-sabotage. So how can we get back on track towards our goals when we lose focus? First, acknowledge your mistakes. Again, acknowledge your mistakes. You are human. You are allowed to make a mistake. Acknowledging and taking responsibility for your choices is the first step to making a change in the right direction. Your own responsibility. When you feel like it quitting, remember why you started. Again, when you feel like I'm quitting, I quit, remember why you started. Second, re-evaluate your goal. Yes, re-evaluate your goal. If you find that you are falling off your track, perhaps you may need to reevaluate your goal. Some questions to ask yourself: maybe, do I actually want this? Yes. What else do I need to learn to get to where I want to be? Are the steps I have laid out to help me get out or get there practical and achievable? Ask yourself. Reevaluate your goal. Third, practice self-compassion. It is easy to beat ourselves up when we fall off track or make a choice that is not alignment with what we really want. The more productive option is to love yourself through your inner challenges. Give yourself a break. Yes, give a break. Give me a break. You are learning. You are learning, growing, and trying something you have never done before. Again, you are learning. Growing. You want to grow. Grow yourself. And try something you have never done before. Compassion is the ultimate expression of your highest self. Get inspired. That is our next goal. Get inspired. Look to others for inspiration. Although you may have never achieved the goal you have chosen, there is definitely someone else in the world who has done it. Yes, there is a lot of people who already done a lot of trials, a lot of challenges, a lot of effort, success. Use these people as your inspiration. Use these people as inspiration. You read books. You do the blogs. Listen to other people's words. Listen to podcasts. Go to seminars. Whatever it that helps to remind you that what you want to achieve is possible. Possible. Remember the possible word. Nothing is impossible. It is possible. Last, take action to get back on track. Once you regain clarity on what you want to achieve, get back to it. Momentum is a powerful driver for creativity. Take one action today towards any goal you have, no matter how small. Do it now. One small movement in the direction of your goals can incite an avalanche of progress. What techniques do you use to get yourself back on track? Ask yourself. Do something. Take action to get back on track. Get inspired. Practice self-compassion. Reevaluate your goal. Acknowledge your mistakes. How to unlock and embrace the incredible power of your imagination. Again, I give you this. How to unlock and embrace the incredible power of your imagination. Yes, imagination is the ability of the mind to stimulate objects, people, and or ideas that haven't yet happened in reality. That's unreal. Yes, like many functions of the human mind, scientists cannot yet fully understand imagination. It's believed that imagination is a network which share informations. It shares information across the different regions of the brains. Yes, your brain. Our brain has a different regions. That's what scientists say. We all have access to the power of our imagination, but we are using it to our greatest advantage. Is there unlocked potential lying within our ability to imagine? Imagination is everything. It is the preview of life's coming attraction. You want to get attracted? Get your imagination work. When we are young, imagination comes to us easily, without effort. We're able to create elaborate stories, ideas, and characters, which provide hours of fun and entertainment. But as we get older, yes, we get older, often our imagination fades. No, don't lose hope. Doesn't mean like imagination fades when you get older. as the responsibilities of growing up. Yes, but we are into that situation. Growing up increase the time and space to spend accessing our imagination slowly becomes less and less. And like anything in that body or your body yourself that is left underused, over that time, our creative imagination gets weaker and weaker. This is a real shame because imagination has a great role and value in our lives. Imagination is much more than having your head in the clouds or daydreaming. In fact, we are constantly using our imagination. We spend a lot of our time in our imaginations. We spend time in our minds thinking about what our day will look like, how a conversation will go, and or what is up next on our to-do list. Sometimes we have a lot of things in our imagination. I have a lot of things to do list in life. Write and figure it out. This is using our imagination unconsciously. To use our imagination consciously for creativity is to decide what we want to focus on. Your creativity. Your creativity. Yes, and use our imagination to drive energy towards that outcome. Use that as your outcome. Using our imagination in this way is accessing the power necessary to create something. Be it as a project, a piece of writing, painting a picture, or even cooking a meal. You imagine, what is this I'm going to make or to cook something? I imagine a lot of different kinds of recipe, menus, taste. You imagine it. This is food is from the most expensive luxury food that I have ever imagined. Creativity. Your creativity is putting your imagination to work, and it's produced the most extraordinary results in human culture is your creativity. Yes. So how do we start to use our imagination consciously and consistently and access our unique creative spark? Use your creative spark. It's actually really simple. You just need to practice how to unlock and embrace the incredible power of your imagination. It is your incredible power of your imagination. You don't need to learn how to imagine something. You know how to do that. What you need to do is to decide to make expanding and using your imagination a priority in your life. Start by spending 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or even 2 minutes a day daydreaming. Let your mind wander instead of trying to focus it on a particular task. By using your imagination more regularly and easing into your own unique imaginative process, you will grow and develop your imagination. With the regular practice, you will become better and consciously using your imagination. And therefore, you will be more discerning about how and where you focus your energy and creativity. Like anything new, Learning this process will take time. If you stick with it, you will have added an invaluable tool into your life that will flow into all aspects of your world. Why being nice isn't going to help you get what you want in life. The dictionary defines nice as giving pleasure or satisfaction, being pleasant or attractive. Yes, being pleasant or attractive. It's probably safe to say that most of us want to be seen as nice, right? Whether it's by our colleagues, our neighbors, or even our family and friends. Generally, we want to be accepted as a nice person. And there is nothing wrong with that, per se. But what happens when the need to be seen as nice person gets in the way of you being an authentic person? We all have different aspects of our character that are highlighted at different times in different scenarios. Occasionally, when we speak up or express an emotion that we're feeling, it isn't always nice. That's just human nature, and it's okay. Why being nice isn't going to help you? You get what you want in life. The danger of being too nice? When we focus on being nice rather than being authentic, it's usually because we want to be accepted by others. Never perfect, always genuine. In this case, we are essential. Yes, we're essentially placing the needs of others above our own. We are telling ourselves that we are not acceptable as we are, and that what we want or feel is less important than how other people feel, or rather, how they feel about us. This can lead to allowing ourselves to be mistreated or and even bottling up our emotions. It's pretty easy to see how that is not healthy, but unfortunately, this is the way of lots of us function. There are many reasons why we decide to sacrifice our truth in order to appraise or appease others, most of which usually stems from our upbringing. If from an early age we had our feelings diminished or dismissed and were taught that our feelings are valid and worthwhile of taking up space, then as adult we have to know knowledge of how to communicate those feelings. So instead, we play nice. We don't speak up. But how we feel or what we want, we hope by some miracle people can read our minds and give us what we want, which of course never works. After a while, this situation becomes pretty exhausting and it causes a lot of internal conflict. That is true. When you push down your truth and set back on your feelings, eventually that stuff is going to spill out of you. At some point, in one way or another, All of those years of being nice, when you wanted to tell someone to go jump, or holding your tongue instead of speaking up is going to come back and bite you. It could happen slowly, which might mean you're the nicest. Gradually turns into passive aggressiveness. Yes, passive aggressiveness. Or even control because the resentment you feel is starting to eat away at you. Or it might come fast and furious. You know, Fast Furious, you watch those movies Fast and Furious in the form of emotional outbursts, addictive behaviors, or even depression. However, it happens. There is no way to avoid the fallout of ignoring your own truth. Honesty is a very expensive gift. Don't expect it from cheap people. Again, I laugh about this because I know I have gathered this information with other people that are not honest. Honesty is a very expensive gift. Don't expect it from cheap people. Does this mean we shouldn't be nice? No. In fact, it pays to be nice. There is plenty of science that shows that being kind is good for us. For example, there is a doctor, according to Dr. David Hamilton, act of kindness create emotional warmth with releases of hormones called oxytocin. Oxytocin is often referred to as the love hormone because of its feels good effect and as well as making us feel good. It also protects the heart by lowering blood pressure. Thank you, Dr. David Hamilton, for giving us the act of kindness that gives us emotional warmth. And it releases our hormone, and it's called oxytocin. The point is that choosing to not be nice doesn't mean you have to be rude or unkind. Not at all. Instead of focusing your energy on being nice, though, instead you can be honest, polite, and assertive. So, what's the answer here? The answer is simple. But, as with anything new, it isn't easy. To put it bluntly, you need to drop the act. Allow yourself to be human. You have to get comfortable with taking up space. And you need to learn to accept that some people simply will not like you. Correct! Some people will not like you. Fact. You can have your own opinion and still be a kind person. You can show up by action. You can stand up for what you believe in and still care about what someone else has to say. Show it by your action. Choosing to drop the nice guy or nice girl persona places you in the driver's seat of your life. Instead of being disempowered, you empower yourself by choosing to stand by your values. With these choices comes an increased sense of self-esteem and ultimately called self-love. When you connect with yourself in this way, of course, it doesn't mean that you are going to stop being nice to people. In fact, the opposite will happen because you are now being nice and kind to yourself. Kindness and love will flow out of you rather than it having to be manufactured. You will become a truer, more authentic version of yourself. Ironically, probably a nicer one too. Why avoiding your emotions won't help you to heal them? Here's what to do instead. There is a toxic mindset that exists within the world today that emotions are a bad thing. That emotion, and that's the emotion we experience, are something to be pushed aside. Avoiding your emotions is encouraged, often not realizing by avoiding your emotions. You are stacking past hurts on your shoulder, weighing you down everywhere you go until the burden becomes unbearable. So, feelings can't be ignored, no matter how unjust or ungrateful they seem. Have you ever heard a statement like this before? Why are you so emotional? Emotion has no place in the workplace. You don't need to be so emotional about it. In a world where we constantly feel the need to be more and do more, sometimes we can suppress emotions, which we perceive to be negative. In order to protect ourselves from being judged by others for being a downer or negative, we can push down how we truly feel. When we fear being criticized or judged for our feelings, we hide them away. And while it is true, yes, we hide them away, that we want to focus on positive emotions in order to create and maintain a beautiful state within ourselves. Doing this should not mean suppression or avoidance of others. More difficult emotions come. Emotions are not negative. Avoiding your emotions, they simply are as they are. It is our attachment to or suppression of them that is negative. Emotions, when we when given space and allowance, simply pass through us like a deep inhale followed by an exhale. Deep inhale followed by an exhale. Exhale it out. When emotions are given freedom to move, they do not last. Pain and sadness, given space, gives way to relief and gratitude. To live authentically in a truly beautiful state is to be completely at one with the present moment. And we need to learn to embrace that this will include feeling emotions. Emotions. When we avoid emotions, they do not disappear. Avoiding your emotions, they simply get locked into our bodies and create negativity and even diseases. These locked emotions stay with us until we have the courage to face them. Sadly, for many of us, this takes a lifetime to discover. And for many of us, it is never known at all. Instead, we carry them around like dead weight. All the while, they affect us and cause us pain. without us even knowing. Allowing yourself to feel and express your emotions is a basic human need. To deny your feelings is to deny yourself of life. Never deny yourself of life. You deserve the time and space required for you to process how you feel. Numbing yourself to the way you feel is not serving you. You cannot find peace by avoiding life. When you choose to consciously feel your emotions, you deepen the connection you have with yourself. You also deepen your connection to the present moment because you are no longer moving away from it in order to be comfortable. So, starting today, make a pact with yourself to never deny yourself of fully feeling your emotion. I promise you, it will change your life. Be yourself. I believe it's important that we are always fully ourselves, even if it means we don't fit in with other people because we are not truly ourselves. It is impossible for us to be happy. It is impossible for us to be fulfilled. So, when you're hanging with people that you really don't fit with, and you get that feeling deep down, that's your inner self telling you you're not comfortable, which means you're not happy. So, it's super important that we are always fully ourselves. Be true to you. See, no one can tell you what a successful life is. No one can tell you what a great life is. No one can tell you how to be happy or what you should or you shouldn't be doing with your life. No one can because you are unique. What success is for another may not be success for you. What is great life for another may not be so great for you. What lights up another may dim your light. The only way you cannot be happy in this life, the only way you can be successful is if you be you. Now listen, the only way to get the most out of this life is to follow your own path, to follow your own intuition, to listen to your heart. That's where the answers are. The answer to every questions you need to. The answers for. So many are unhappy in this world because they are living lives they don't want to live. So they can't fit in. Or they can't fit in. Or maybe someone completely different from them. Yes, someone differently from them gave them advice on how they should be living. You are unique. You must follow your own unique path. Be yourself. Be yourself. This doesn't mean that there isn't useful information out there. There are so many great teachers to learn from. It simply means that you only take in what resonates with you. What you know will work for you. Get out of your head and into your heart. Get out. Get out out of your head and into your heart. Do the things that make you light up. Lighting up helps you. Do the things that make you forget to check your phone. More of the things that make you smile. Smile. More of the things that make you laugh. Like a little kid. Who cares? More of the things that make you proud to be you. Make yourself to be proud of you. Be brave. Be brave. Be brave. You only get one shot at this life. One opportunity to live fully. One opportunity to create some magic. It's okay to say no sometimes, to say no with passion, with authentic certainty, because you know what it is best for you. Not everyone will get it, and that's okay. The right people will walk the path with you, and most won't be able to resist because someone who is genuinely, who is authentically loving life, doing exactly what they want to do. That person is infectious. Real passion is infectious. Wake up with passion every day. Wake up every single day. And no one but fully 100% you. 100% you. Motivate yourself. I believe it is important we go for everything we want in a life because we only have one life to live. So we have to give it everything. We've got to. And try to make our dreams, our hopes, our aspirations become reality. Be yourself. Everyone else is already taken. The only way you can be successful in life is to be yourself. There are a lot of simple tips to help you learn to trust yourself for life. There are many people that will come and go over the course of your life. But the one person who will always be there is you. You yourself. Knowing how to trust your own capacity to make decisions and do what's best for you will propel you into success and stop you from limiting your life out of the fear of getting things wrong. Learning to trust yourself is not an easy process, but with a few simple tools and techniques, you can build yourself trust muscles and become the confident badass you always wanted to be. So how do we do it? How can we learn to trust ourselves more? Yes, there is an answer. Inquire within. Trust yourself for life. Inquire within. In order to learn self-trust, the first step is to consider the reason why you don't trust yourself. Perhaps you made bad decisions in the past that you have left you feeling insecure about your ability to make good choices. Maybe someone told you that you weren't trustworthy. You now believe it to be true. Whatever your reasons are, it's important to become aware. It is important to become aware of them so you can bring awareness to the story you are holding onto. Because of these events, the truth is you are capable of trusting yourself. You have just gotten used to telling yourself you can't. Yes, you can. You yourself. Cultivate connection. Cultivate connection. Interestingly, for a lot of people, the fear they hold around trusting themselves is actually because they have very little connection to their inner voice. Consider this. I'd be pretty hard to trust a friend or a family member if you barely ever spoke to them, right? You wouldn't trust someone you hardly talk to. Help you to make big decisions in your life, would you? The same applies to yourself. If you never tune in with your own inner being, how can you possibly trust it? In order to regain your own trust, you need to create a strong inner dialogue that you can pull upon at any time. Trust yourself. You are more powerful than you know. And they fear the day you can't find out. The day you find out. Practice self love. In order to learn to activate your own inner wisdom, you need to cultivate a strong connection to your inner world. This is a great step of self awareness. And toward self mastery, make a conscious effort to practice listening to your inner world. Start simply, like keeping promises that you can make, taking promises, or keeping promises that you make to yourself. Another great practice for connecting to yourself is to simply place your hand in your heart or on your heart and say, I love you. I'm listening. This practice is like starting a conversation with your heart. Talk to your heart and say, I love you. I am listening. Let go. Let go. In the process of learning to trust yourself, it is incredibly important to also recognize the people around you. Let go of people who doubt you. Choose to spend time with people who remind you how powerful you are and encourage you to be brave with your choices. In life, we win or we learn. We only fail if we stop trying. Learning to trust your instinct. And intuition can feel scary at first, but the more you do it, the easier it gets. You will make mistakes, of course. That is the nature of learning. But over time, you will get better and better and better at learning to trust yourself. Self trust means knowing that you can handle anything that life throws at you because you are capable, powerful, and strong. Our next topic would be things you must spend less time on if you want to live a truly great life. It will be our next blog. Unlike any other human resources, you cannot borrow or save or store time. So we have the same R's. So it's about time management. So hear me out about time management. It will be good to live a truly great life. It will help you. The most important things that you can focus without any distractions. It's about self-doubt, procrastination, spend less time fearing failure, vacillating, spend less time on delusions and healthy lifestyle, lack of self-discipline. All of this, the conclusion is, if any or all signs check out, fear not with me as you can change. Seeing as you've acknowledged yourself, you will have a good steps provided to live a great life. We'll have it our next blog. Thank you for hearing me out. Thank you and God bless you, everyone. Till next time.